But the priorities of what's on that list change as a woman gets older and what she's able to consolidate on in the long term. But that guy who has all that, or even like a margin of that laundry list of prerequisites, that guy's always older because it takes him longer to get those things that makes him maximally attractive.
True.
Al Pacino just knocked up his 29-year-old girlfriend, and he is
83. No, he's 83.
83, 82?
Yes.
82.
82?
Yeah, brother.
82. So, is 82 too old for you?
For the 29-year-old.
Technically, you can get like a girl pregnant even when you're 90.
No. That's what we're asking from a cultural standpoint.
Would you, like,
is it
how
haram?
old is too old? Yes.
I don't know, because I loved
it.
it. I loved it for Anna Nicole. So.
And Nicole Smith?
Yeah,
Smith, yes.
She won that man for his money, though.
I'm so confused. Anna Nicole, like, you must.
This one's doing it for the money. She was like, oh no, I love this is our love child. I love it for her.
Like, bro.
The thing is, here's what I think.
You know what she's doing it for. I support it.
Here's the thing. I think if it was someone else, people would think it's creepy. But because Al Pacino has, this is something we talk about in my program, because Al Pacino has so much status, it's okay. Like if Derek Jeter or was in his 80s, or what's his face, Frank Sinatra. If Frank Sinatra had a baby with a woman in his 80s, no one would complain.
Well, but Mick Jagger fathered a child at 74.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, our good friend Dr. David Buss is a father at 70 years old as well. So let's.
I think like the first thing I think of is this when it's like that old. What comes to my mind is this poor woman is about to have to raise this kid by herself.
Solo. That's what I would
That's the only issue. That's the only thing.
Yes, after she inherits $47 million.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're still like, well, now we're. Even if it doesn't matter the money you have, you have to have a father, a manly figure in the household.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Child can grow up with.
I'm saying it's a trade-off. I'm saying it's a trade-off.
I'm saying it's.
I said he's haram. For those of you who don't have headphones on,
you don't have the headphones on.
It's a business deal. I mean, she has all this money now. She can find a young guy.
Bro, she can hire a nanny to take care of the baby.
Cat with a solution. See, that's what I say. Women don't come up with solutions.
I mean, with all these podcasts like this one and Pearl and all of them, everyone always says that it's all about status. If a man has status, he can date as young as he wants, and it's okay.
That is true.
And so if a guy has status, money, and he's old as shit, but his dick still works.
It seems like you're. It seems like you're just you're coming from the point of being a realist. That's correct. Yeah. I think what we're asking is, though, from a moral standpoint, is there? So you see, like with Mia,
I wouldn't call it a moral standpoint, but continue that.
Like Mia Khalifa and Lana Rhoades saying that older men should not date younger women because they have some kind of mental disorder. But the problem is, when Mia Khalifa and Lana Rhoades were younger, they were filming pornography. And they weren't interested in being committed relationships, or at least I don't know that they were. So the problem, what we're saying is, when they were at their peak value, and when we say peak value, we're just going to use an objective term, when you would get the most right swipes on a dating app. And we know this because we can look at eHarmony, Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. They give out their data. It is between the ages of 23 and 25. When we look for men, it is between the ages of 38 and 43, I believe, somewhere around there. So for men, we take longer to bake. So when we go on the yacht in Monaco, the girl got up on the yacht because she was pretty, and we got up on the yacht because we made $10 million. Yeah. For us to get on the yacht was a lot harder than for you guys to get on the yacht, no offense. And when we're on the yacht, when we get there, all of a sudden, we aren't interested in being in a relationship either sometimes. And that when we are, then we're chastised by Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey and people like that. When are these guys going to level up? When are these guys going to man up and settle down? But
when are they going to mature?
But time out. When you guys were 23 and you were getting on the yacht, you didn't want to settle down. But now that we're 45 and we own the yacht, now we're supposed to settle down. And that seems a little bit hypocritical.
You know how they say that women mature a little faster and men mature a little slower?
They do. So on average, it's about 1 to 2. It's about 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
Women mature faster, men mature slower. So it's like at an even medium when you actually do date older. Like if a woman dates a little older, that like it's like your maturity level is like kind of
this was the point I was gonna make, is that on some level of consciousness, women understand that a man doesn't become a man until he's 30. Okay, like
I wouldn't even put it at 30.
Well, let's. I'm rounding it off. But the reason for that is because there's, and maybe this speaks to younger women wanting to get with older guys, because on average, women want to get with a guy who is anywhere between 3 to 7 years older than they are.
Yeah.
Going backwards for a guy who is younger is, or if he's hot, yeah, they'll maybe take a chance on that guy.
Yeah.
But primarily, it's in women's best interests to get with a guy who can be like a turnkey relationship. He has to be able to already have something established for himself. And even if a guy is just older, just the appearance of him being older, and he takes care of himself, he has some status to him, there's this expectation that that guy's older, so he's already further along in his life's journey or his life's path, and he would be a good choice for a long term.
So here's my thing though. So normally in a perfect world, I am like 33. I would rather date a man in his late 30s to early 40s. However, like Michael was saying, those type of people either are so focused into their work because they are established, they don't want a relationship, or they just don't want to settle down at that time. So it's kind of like, okay, so I've dated guys who are younger than me, but sometimes it just ends absolutely horribly because they're no innocence mature. They don't have their shit together. I have to start being like, do you have a car, a license, a place where you live? Like, it has to start getting
do I need to drop you off at the shelter?
Exactly.
Do I have to drop you off at the shelter? Are you okay?
I dated some dude that traded somebody weed. He traded weed for the place in his apartment and didn't even tell me. It's just, I've had so much nonsense from people younger. Yeah, but I'm like, okay, you tell me you're renting an apartment and here you're trading weed for your couch.
Well, I mean, primarily women in the long term need long-term security. And that, by the way, that's not just money. That can be emotional security. That can be, there's other forms of security. So it's not just about the money. It could be about the status. It could be about the fact that he's got drive. So when women are asked, like, what do you look for in a guy? It's usually what they are attracted to in the long term. So does he love his mom? Does he like puppy dogs? Is he going to take me to Disneyland? Does he have a job? Is he funny? Is he intelligent? Does he have a college degree? Does he like this laundry list of all these things? Yeah, the perfect guy. And he's got to feed me ice cream in bed and love me unconditionally. That kind of that whole the laundry list goes on and on and on. But the priorities of what's on that list change as a woman gets older and what she's able to consolidate on in the long term. But that guy who has all that, or even like a margin of that laundry list of prerequisites, that guy's always older because it takes him longer to get those things that makes him maximally attractive.
True.
I've said so many times and in so many of my books, like we are better together than we are apart. That's the problem. The problem is women feel like they have to make the bag. They can't trust men. The guy's got to be older, but as soon as you get older, they're not interested in you because they're looking for something that's younger. And women become the men that they want to marry. That's the problem because rather than being I
Teresa, you
sympathize
Teresa,
with
you have your own business and a football podcast.
Yeah.
Do you hear what he's saying?
I honestly feel like
you are the motherfucker.
You are the motherfucker you wanted to marry. Like you're saying.
I mean, it's funny that you say that because I've always said that if I don't get married by the time I'm 40, I'm just gonna buy myself my own ring, which is funny because I seen this on the news the other day. It literally was something. I was like, oh my god, that's so me, because I just feel like I have my own table, and what does somebody else bring to my table? Like
exactly.
If I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I want to be like a power couple status. Like, we need to better each other and push each other to make more money together. But I'm not going to be with somebody who's like a low life, chilling on the couch and playing video games all day while there's more important things to be done.